Morning, Luke Smith, RealVacantLand.com. Welcome. Thanks for coming to this live feed on this holiday Monday morning. And I'm excited. The kids just went out the door. My wife took them to breakfast and giving me a chance to do this live show when they're not in school. So I'm grateful to that. Thanks you guys for helping me. And yeah, okay. So a couple people chiming into the comments already. Cheryl's saying good morning and happy chat, happy Labor Day. Jeff saying good morning. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, guys. Thanks for coming online. Um, got some red light, so hopefully the stream is working. It seems to be. It just doesn't like the format I'm doing, but it seems to be working. It seems to be feeding. So if you guys can hear and see me, it looks like you can hear and see me already. Um, Memphis Matt says, good morning, Luke from Memphis. Good morning, guys. Okay, so as you guys are chiming in, if you stick around till the end of this video, I'm going to give away your option this time. In the past, I used to give away land, and it took me a while to like do the paperwork on the last lands that I gave away this spring. I've been behind on multiple fronts trying to keep up, and I was able to catch up on that like a day or two ago on the lands that I gave away. I finally did the paperwork for those people. I'm sorry that took so long, but it's finally the last couple lands that I gave away. Paperwork's out the door, and if you haven't got it yet, you should be getting stuff in the mail to sign and send to the state that gets the land. And so I'm paying for it, all the money and postage and everything, and the paperwork, and picked out the land. And that land that I gave away, if you want to resell it, if you want to turn it into cash, let me know. I'll sign like an option agreement with you, and I'll go market the land. I'll get it turned into cash at some price, and just cash you out of it. And to do that, I charge 50% of the profits of what we can sell the thing for above what it cost me. I mean, so you get the cost back plus half of everything above that for those lands that I gave away. So if you've got land that I gave away in the past or some that you're just getting, feel free to circle back. Email Gillian. There's an email in the description below this video, and we'll get your land remarketed and sold. I wanted to point out the neighbor's dogs are going, but I wanted to point out that on the website I was looking at inventory in lots of different areas that we've had land in the past, and that's sold out. For example, I had a bunch of properties in Izard County and Baxter County, Arkansas. We've got some other Arkansas counties going through. Some other guys are posting them on the website. Had a lot of properties in Cochise County, not sold out, but inventory is getting low there. Navajo County there's still some inventory there, but lots of them have sold, or it's getting worked down towards the bottom of inventory. Apache County, big numbers of properties are sold there. Mojave County, Arizona. I'm going to try to go through and restock some of these areas that we've sold. Lots of properties have been popular in the past. And so I think one of the first ones, or just one of the easiest ones, I'm testing ways to do this that I think would be more interactive and fun, and working with you guys to do it. It's not so much about the money on these, but setting up the system to pull this off so I can do it again and again and again. And so here's what I propose. So if you're watching the live show, great. If you're watching the recorded version, great. So this is how I'm going to do it. A couple of those counties in Arkansas have sold hundreds of properties, and I usually buy them for $50 a property. And I made offers at like $5 and $10 and $100 and $300 and stuff. And by making offers all across the board, my $50 ones would get accepted the most. So it's like, why am I offering more than that or less than that or whatever? So I just started offering $50, and I started getting lots of them, hundreds of them. I would do the paperwork for each property, and I would ship them off in like banker's boxes, like, here's my offers. And, and they'd get back to me and just think I'm crazy. And it'd take them months to process all my offers, but it was fun, right? I don't want to do banker's boxes of offers on those properties anymore, but I'll do like smaller bundles of them. And I got my databasing system, my software set up to keep track of them a lot better now. And so I think I can invite you guys to the party and play that game interactively. And so here's what I propose. I've got a little bit of a description in the description below, and it says mail $500 to, and it's my company name and my address, and put in there your contact information, your phone number. What else do they ask for? Your name, just your basic stuff so I can contact you with $500 or multiples of $500. And so what $500 gets you is 10 properties in Arkansas. And these 10 properties in Arkansas, they're not like, you know, super awesome, spectacular, everything going for them properties, but I'll try to choose the ones that are on streams or lakes or the bigger acreage, more trees, easier to access, power lines, paved road, a cacophony of those kinds of attributes put together. And we'll buy them from the state. We'll buy them from the state commissioner of land, whatever they're called, the state of Arkansas. And I'll do the paperwork to buy them. I've done it hundreds of times. I know how to do it. My back office knows how to process them like crazy, and so we can process them and make them happen. So the $500, I'll pay postage and everything. It's a $500 to split it up. 10 ways. We'll make offers on 10 different properties, and we'll probably get shut down on one or two or three of them or something. They'll give us the middle finger, and that's okay. We'll we'll get the checks back, and I'll get the paperwork back on the ones we get declined on, and I'll make offers on different ones until we get the 10 to fill out your $500 that you send in. So that's 10 properties for $500. Now, what the heck do we do with these properties? Now, my back office is set up pretty well to do the marketing on these things. And so it's much more of an automated system for me now, like the pictures and the descriptions and the maps and everything, and presenting them and getting them out there in the marketplace and promoted in a bunch of different areas. I might even make some YouTube videos about them and stuff. Just really cheap properties. Maybe we sell them for $300 or $500 or something stupid cheap, right? There might be some fees that come along with these properties. Sometimes I buy these properties and there's back taxes, like not taxes per se, but back fees of, I've had a couple of them that came back at like $2,500 in back fees. Now, what the heck do we do with that one? That's why I'm doing this in multiples of like 10 properties at a time, and not saying you can do this with one property. I want it to be 10 properties, multiples of 10. I mean, you could order 20 or 50 properties if you really wanted to. Please don't go too crazy on it. We'll do other kinds of properties before we do that. So some of them come back with some crazy fees. The crazy fees might be an improvement district or a resort district or a fire district or some bond that I didn't know about. Something in there. There's child support liens or something that doesn't get wiped away when the state takes these properties and cleans them up. And so we get the property back, and I'm doing that kind of research. And if I find any of those weirdnesses going on with the property, we're going to shrug and say sorry and let that thing go back for taxes. And we're not going to market it. We're not going to try to sell it to anybody. And we're not going to get bitter about losing the $50 and buying the property, because that's part of the business. So they're not really $50 when you factor a couple of those in. Maybe you might get one of those per 10. Not even that many. Maybe. And then there'll probably be some fees from like the fire district or something else that's not the county taxes that gets wiped out. So the state wipes out the county taxes when I buy those properties. And sometimes it's not totally all wiped out. And so there might be, $50, $100 or something in miscellaneous fees that we got to pay off. So we get the property basically for $50, and then we go market it. I mean, I've sold them for like $2,500, those kinds of properties I'm talking about. I'm not going to try to sell them that high, but we'll try to sell them for like $500 so they go fast. And then we pay, so let's say we buy them for 50, let's say we sell them for $550. We got $500 left. Let's say there's $100 in miscellaneous fees. That's $400 left. So it's $400. I'll send you $200. And I'll keep $200. I'll split the profits on it with you, 50-50. And my plan on doing this is more of an automated way. using a back office that I've got set up to do a lot of the work. So that's the idea. It's really small dollar deals, but they're fun, and they get you into the land trade. And really what I'm trying to do is plant a seed that says we could do this on bigger properties. We could do it on bigger dollar deals. And I hope to in the future present other opportunities like that on different areas and different parts of the country, and have it set up and easy to be teed off so we can take them out. And so this is a test run of making sure the systems and the logistics and the reporting of it works. So we go to buy these properties. I'll do all the paperwork. I'll use your money to put it all together, make the offers. I'll get them into my database system that I've got set up now, and you're going to see all the paperwork going by. You're going to see exactly what property it is. You're going to see the ads that are created. You're going to see the timestamps of when and how it's happening and who in my organization is working on it, and you're going to see the whole picture. And you're going to see when people ask questions about the property, you're going to see those comments go by in the stream. You know, when they're shopping it, they want to do payment plans, they want to do whatever it is. They're asking about the zoning, or they're asking if they can have their RV there, whatever it is that they're asking about. All those kinds of questions go in. We can see what people are asking questions about in these properties, see what needs to be addressed and fixed up and happen. And I think that makes it a lot easier to manage a lot more properties and do it in a much more scalable way for lots of different dollar size deals. But you'll see it on the small dollar ones, and this is a good introduction to that. So that information is in the description down below. If you want to do that, it's $500 per 10 properties. Basically, I'll do all the work, and you just sit back and watch it happen and see if you like what you see, and the money that you get back later on someday, and we'll take it from there. Oh, the timeline on this. So you send in the money. I'll work on it as fast as I can. I'm not the fastest person in the world, but I'll get to it as fast as I can, get it processed, get it out with the help of my back office. And then it takes 2 months or so to send in the money and the paperwork to actually get the land where we can start selling it. So there's a time lag in there between doing this and actually being able to put it up for sale. And then once it's sold, I mean, we can do credit card transaction stuff. We can settle money quick, and I'll ship you a check out of the proceeds of that. And if people come back for refunds on the properties, I might be asking you for your money back or taking it out of the next deal. So that's the setup on that. Okay, so I wanted to say one more time, if you're listening live, I'm going to give away your option today of either land, free land, or mailers. I'm going to give away like one of these kinds of properties in Arkansas, or 500 mailers. And the difference between that being, I mean, probably pay $50 for one of these properties in Arkansas for you, or the mailers, 500 mailers, I probably pay $200 or $300 or something to get the data and send the mail out to make offers. And the mailers, this is how I get the land. And so I get land all across the country doing this. Like this picture behind us is one of the mailers that I sent out, paid for by one of the guys that's listening to this show, that bought some mailers. And I paid for the pictures on this property, and I've been doing a bunch of due diligence on these properties. This is one of the pictures just came back like yesterday. There's a bunch of this moss. You see this moss hanging on this one branch, but there's like 50 pictures or something. Big ferns. See those ferns down here? Big ferns and moss, and good driveway going into the property, the old motorhome, old car and stuff. And it's close to a big river. I'm excited about this property. It's in the background. I think we're going to buy it for a really good price. And I think we're going to sell it for a really good price. And the guy that paid for this mailer in the background, I think is going to make out for this one deal a lot more money than he paid for all of his mailers. And he bought a bunch of mailers, the guy on this one. So if you pick the mailers towards the end of the show, and I'll give you 500 mailers, and maybe you end up with a property like this. I think the numbers on this one are like, don't quote me on it, but I can't remember if we're buying it for 14 grand or 18 grand. And then the sales price is probably, I mean, there's nothing like it in the market under 100 grand, really. So maybe we go sell it for 60 or 70 or something. And so, yeah, you can do the math on that. there could be a lot of money to be made there. So if you're getting the mailers, and we land a deal like this, or hopefully a better one than this, I mean, you probably get, if we bought it for, let's say 20 to do the math easy, and let's say we sold it for 60, there'd be 40 grand in between. Maybe 20 grand goes to the financier and then 20 grand goes to me. I'll give you half of that 20 grand. You'd probably be at 10 grand. You get 10 grand off of one of the mailers like this for landing a property like this. And I pay all the miscellaneous fees in between, do all the marketing, do all the due diligence, do all the work, put the mailer out and everything. I would be choosing the mailer at the end of the video, but if you don't want the mailer, you can just take the land. So I'm going to start giving people options. Let's check the comments, and then let's talk about some properties we got up on the website. So we got Showgirl says, more Butte land in North Edwards, please. Yeah, there we go. We might have some North Edwards. This would be Kern County. If you look at Kern County and zoom in on North Edwards, or maybe North Edwards, San Bernardino County. It's right on the county line. Memphis Matt says, sounds and looks great. Hola, Lucas, ¿cómo está? From South Carolina. ¿Cómo está, guys? Morning. Hello from South Carolina. Ready to get out of Memphis. 10. I'll take some land and a tent for $500. Alice. Alex. Yeah. I mean, there's properties all over the place. I was just having a conversation with one nice lady yesterday or day before on the phone, and she really wanted to get out of Oregon, and maybe she's listening to the show, I don't know, and she wanted to do down $500 down on one of the properties they had in California or have, and it's like, why don't you just buy one of the $500 properties, just like be done with it, stop making payments, and then put your money together, save up later on someday, buy one of the $10,000 properties you got your eyes set on. But like the $500 property, you could do it right now. Like, you just buy the thing. There's numerous $500 properties on the website. And we do this Arkansas deal with some people. I mean, I think we'll get a bunch more. Let's see what else they're saying. Like your channel, man, keep up the good work from California. Thanks, Juan. Memphis says, I have some land in Craighead County, Arkansas. I've never even heard of that county. I don't know where that one is. Memphis Matt, folks, don't forget to subscribe and smash that thumbs up. Thanks, Memphis. Dwight is saying, any land I can get around Kingman. So Kingman, Dwight, let's take a look at King. I know where Kingman is. He's saying Arizona. Sorry. Like, I don't know where Kingman is. I've been to Kingman. Okay, so I'm going to ruralvacantland.com. I should have had it pulled up. I do have it pulled up. Click on this thing. So I'm going to open the map for other questions. I'm going to pull up Mojave County, Arizona. I was just checking Mojave. I think we're sold out of Mojave. I was just doing some statistics of where, like how many properties and dollar size and stuff of where we've been selling, because I want to make these kinds of offers of working with you guys to load up more land onto the website. I've been doing mailers. I was up almost all night doing mailers. I was doing mailers yesterday, doing mailers the day before. I got to catch up on mailers. I'm caught up on my bookkeeping and bill paying and finance and stuff, and now I just got to catch up on mailers. So I promised a bunch of mailers to you guys. So Kingman. Why am I looking for Kingman? I should be looking for Mojave. So Mojave County, Arizona, for sale. I kind of think there's nothing for sale over there. Yeah, so we're all sold out of everything in Mojave County right now. We've had some near Kingman. We've had a bunch near Kingman in the past. So the map's coming up. And if we go to the map, go to ruralvacantland.com, go to the map search. It takes a little while to load because it's getting too much stuff on there. And I keep saying I'm going to clean it up, but I haven't. So Kingman's over here. Here's Kingman. So here's Kingman area. So we've had properties around the Kingman area in the past, but they're all sold. They're even marked sold. So getting the map cleaned up as best we can. The ones that are sold in red. Sorry, Dwight. Maybe we'll have some in the future, or maybe you want to sponsor some kind of mailer deal. I'd go mail up a whole bunch of Kingman area properties, Mojave County properties. I could go target it for the kind of property that you want. Um, I would ask that you pay for the mailer, and we could do the same kind of deal as the Arkansas one. I'd ask that you pay for mail and let me add it, and then we'll go buy like as many of them as we can. I could even finance buying the properties and then putting them up for sale, and we'll put them up for sale and sell them. There's a couple ways of doing it. You could finance the properties and I could sell them, or I could finance the properties and I could sell them. We could do different cuts different ways if you're up for that, and you can cherry pick the property that comes through that you want. Be one way of doing it. Now I've got the database system set up now that I can take on those kinds of orders and knock them out and everybody can make money off of them. So let me know if you're up for something like that, or anyone else for some other area. I've got a couple people in the hopper that want to do that in some areas, like Cochise County. I've already got a guy that wants to do that. Yovi's saying good morning, revolutionary hippies, happy Labor Day hippies. Here we go. So got some noise outside. One of the neighbors has this new truck he bought, and I think he's showing it off. So I think we're gonna hear this thing rumbling. I found a new office, and I think I'm gonna be signing paperwork on it tomorrow, and so I might have studio set up to do live feed for next Monday from the new office, or I might keep this one and use this one more time. But I'm excited for this new office. It should be a lot quieter, and it's right next to the ocean. Should have like pelicans flying over and stuff. It should be fun. I like that kind of thing. I like seeing nature, so we'll see how that goes. So let's go with a couple more comments, and I'm gonna look for some more properties. Wyatt Loa said, I like the proposal, Luke. Keep it up. Yeah, I think I love to make that kind of proposal, but in the past, my Achilles heel has been organization, and I've been spending a lot of time on organization. 2 weeks ago or whatever, I was in northern Michigan on vacation, and that was like my modus operandi when I get back is get more organized. And I've been trying to get more organized for the last year, and juggling this much real estate around would pretty much get anybody lost. And I think the organization tools of it are paramount. And so Karen, who helps me a bunch in different deals, like every time I get stuck in a title, it's like she's my professional problem solver, right? She bangs on them until we get it solved. And so there's always some issue out there somewhere that needs solving. And so I got her working on different ones, and her brother came up with this software to basically create operating systems. I mean, how complicated is that? So when you have a bunch of people working together and multiple levels and multiple countries around the world contributing to one project, how do you keep track of them all? How do you keep them all on the same path? How do you know what's going on? They created this software as Jira, Jira. It's an Australian company that made it, and they made it to make software. It's made to keep track of the teams to make software. But he pointed out, like, this would be great for my business as well as lots of other businesses that want a business management kind of software. It's like a kind of basics of a project management software, but way more agile, like the new term agile, like, because you don't really know what you want until you're doing it, and business changes over time. So this thing, it's not like a one size fits all. You can change it. You can push here and push. There are a bunch of levers to pull to be able to customize it to what your business is. And so I've been working on that, and I've been improving it, and I've been making it better. One of the things I was working on this weekend is making it a lot better at keeping track of all the terms payments. So a lot of people buy property from me with owner financing, and some of those properties have partners on, and some are just all me. And trying to keep track of the money going back and forth, and so it comes in off the property, I got to send it out to the partners and put it into the right accounts, and just being able to keep track of it all is a job, right? And so the software is, I think, keep track of it a lot better, and pointing out when people aren't paying and when people are the payments are bouncing, so I can reach out to them and say, hey, what's going on? See if we can work out some other deal or trade it for some other property or something. Or lots of people just disappear, and I'm just scratching my head. But yeah, so I think the software system for that is getting set up, which allows me to do these kinds of offers. So thanks, Wyatt. I hope to, and I plan to make more offers like this Arkansas one going forward in the future. Better ones where we can all make a lot more money. I mean, trading $50 for $500 and paying $100 or something in fees is a sweet deal, but it's if you can do that, why not do it on bigger dollar deals, especially if you take some money from these small dollar deals and roll that into the bigger dollar deals and use profits to go swing at the bigger dollar ones. I think snowballing money is a lot healthier, and you can do it with a lot more confidence than just dropping the money in the first place. So that's and we've got people asking for these kinds of properties all the time too, and we're sold out. So that's not cool. We should be refilling the stock, refilling the shelves, right? So why not just put it out there for them? Cheapest, easy anything land around. Yeah, BJ sells land. Says, I'll partner on that Arkansas land. I'm unclear how. Do you have a link? No, I don't have a link, BJ. I'm asking you to mail in. I want people that are really serious. I don't want you to just click the link and put down a credit card. I want you to actually have the money and send it over. And not have to pay credit card fees either, right? So there's a line in the description of this video. It's right underneath. It's like the second paragraph of the description. It says, please mail $500 to, and it's got my name, my company name. Tobacco is this place I used to go fishing as a kid. Tobacco LLC. And so mail that, and there's an address there, and put all your information into that money. And you can do it in bunches of 10. So if you're ordering, 20 properties, send $1,000. If you're ordering 10 properties, send $500, for an example. Please don't send like $5,000 or something, because I'm going to get back in touch with you and say, no, I'm just going to do this on 10 or 20. Maybe if nobody else sends in money, I might do it, but I don't want to flood the market with those kinds of properties. I'll probably call you with some other alternatives if it's too much money. So follow the directions in the description below and mail it in, or email Gilian, Gilian at ruralvacantland.com, my assistant, and ask her. I'll fill her in, and she'll help you there as well. Okay. Iowawa says, hi, you Luke, and all you land gurus. Hi, Iowawa. Oopsie says, hello from Arizona. Showgirl official. There's not a link regarding the Arizona, Arkansas properties. That's right. There's no link. I'm asking for cash because I got to pay cash to the county, and maybe I should have a link with like some extra processing fees in it or something, but it's not a link. You got to mail it. Like old school, put a stamp on a check and mail it. Put it in an envelope and mail it to my address below. I think that'll slow some people down and spread it out over time instead of just it going too fast for me. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't want to pay the fees. Just mail a check. Are you just wanting a cashier's check for the 500, or is there a way we can do it digitally? Okay, so if you really want to do it digitally, could you email Gilian, Gilian, at ruralvacantland.com. Her email is in the description below, and ask for a link. She'll make you a link, and you can do it digitally. I meant to just send in the money, but if you really want to do it digitally, yeah, I understand. I don't like using checks either. Maybe I didn't think this through before I did it. So just ask her, and she'll make you a link, and I'll pay the credit card fees. It's not a big deal. Showgirl official. For a homestead that you're only at once a month or so in Kern, San Bernardino, Joshua Tree, etc. Okay, so Showgirl official okay, so maybe I missed the first one. Oh, she's got a couple comments. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. So first she was asking for the link, and so I answered that. And then there's some other comments in here. H1 Slant says, thanks for knowledge. Keep up the good work. Currently trying to buy some land. Yeah, good deal. Thanks for buying land. I mean, that's what keeps the wheels turning. That's what it's all about. I think the art of this is buying the land in the first place, being able to offer it to you at such good prices. My sales pitches are always the best prices around, easiest, best prices, and it's really hard to go get land and serve it up for the best prices around. So that's what I spend most of my time and energy on, serving up the best prices around. So when it's up and presented with all kinds of information about the property, you can do it yourself. You can click on the link to go look at the property. I mean, get driving directions to go look at it and see if it's what you want. And some people go out there and they like, Luke, there's a well on the property. Is that mine? I was like, if it's on the property, it's yours. If I would have known about it, I would have charged more, right? Um, go look at the property, see what's there, and see if you like it or not, and buy it. And the prices are meant to be low, so you stop asking questions, because there's like a ridiculous amount of questions that people ask when it comes to buying land. These videos are meant to answer a lot of the questions too, so I'm not on the phone 24/7 answering the same questions over and over. Rocky Greer, hello everyone. Hello Rocky. Wyatt says, hey Luke, do you ever make deals in Florida or Georgia? We've got some Florida ones on the website, and there's a couple guys that are doing the Florida ones. The guy that's been doing the Florida ones on the website the longest is Jason Lydiard. He lives in Florida. I believe he's got some Florida Panhandle properties right now. They might be sold. Let me pull up the map. And we might have some southern Florida ones that Erica was just posting. I believe Erica had some Southmore in Florida too. Let's see. So we're zooming in on Florida. Let's look at these Panhandle ones first. So I think we had some newer ones there. They might all be sold. Those are all sold. Yeah, those are all sold. Let's see. Southern Florida. We had a bunch halfway down. Yeah, we still got some here. So there's a neighborhood here with a couple lots. I think these are $2,500 lots or something like that. $2,000 to $3,000. Yeah, $2,500. So there's a bunch of $2,500 lots here that are they're like quarter acre size lots, and they're not that far from Orlando. Well, maybe they're further than I thought. Where's Orlando? Here's Gainesville. Orlando's down here. I thought it was up a little higher. So southeast a little bit, you got Orlando. So they're northwest of Orlando. So we've got a couple lots there to choose from in Florida on the website. South of there, we've got a couple more to choose from. What size are these? 1795. They're cheaper. These are quarter acre for less than $2,000, basically $1,800 for quarter acre lot. So we got a couple of those to choose from. You can talk to the guys on these. They got these properties up for sale on the website too. Orlando. Let's go further south, down by Port Charlotte. This is what I was thinking. So I think maybe it's just me, but I think we're getting closer to the ocean down here. It'd be easier for me to keep a boat, and I could like go fishing, right? I don't know if you guys care about that or not, but that's what I care about. So I'd be looking at this one. Look at there's maybe I could rent a dock off of one of these guys. I don't even have to live on the water. Just walk over there, ride my bike over and go fishing. 25 minutes from the beach, but I think the waterways are a lot closer than that. Let's see what these are. Felicia and Andrew Gessenbeck have this one. They're asking $3,779 cash or $199 down, owner financing. It's 0.23 acres. So we've got numerous ones in Florida right now. I'm sure there's a bunch more that ought to happen in Florida. We just haven't sent enough mail out to do it and pull them off yet. So go take a look at the ones. If you're looking for properties that are for sale, go take a look at the ones that are on the website right now. And if you want to bring in some more Florida ones, I mean, let me know. I'd probably group up with one of the guys that's doing Florida properties, and sure we could pull something off. Okay, Showgirl Official says, definitely more land in Southern California. Those get the most views on Zillow, right? Definitely what I've been in the market for the past year. By the way, is property vandalism pretty common? I've been seeing more views on Zillow in the Puget Sound area, Washington. Um, I mean, a lot of the ones I'm researching, oftentimes more than 100 views a day. A day. You know, you get the thing posted on there, you get 100 views a day. That's pretty amazing for vacant land. A lot of the Southern California ones, I mean, it depends what they are, but I mean, you might see 10 views a day or something in comparison. I'm I might be totally wrong, but this is what I'm thinking, and that's where my mindset of the views are. If we go look at them, it might be something different, but different property classes and different size classes and things. And I think a lot of it depends on what picture you lead the charge with, price and picture you lead the charge with, see how many views you get. Um, but yeah, I definitely like some more Southern California properties on the books and being able to present to people. That's in the hopper. I'll get to that. That's, to me, that's more of a winter time thing. Like while the summer's happening, or we're at the end of the summer now, the official end of the summer, we should switch further south stuff. I think it's going to be easier to sell stuff in better weather through the winter, and for people to tour properties and everything. I don't want the ones that are covered in snow and nobody can get there. Um, yeah, MMA from the Heartland. Man, I want to get in on this. There we go. Go for it. So we got land for sale. We've got mailers we could do if you present some custom pitch to me, or these Arkansas ones in the description below. I think the Arkansas ones are ready to go. And I'll do more pitches of other offers like that in future live videos like this going forward. Um, now that I've got the organization software to do it, I'm so excited about that. It's like keeps you guys updated live when you're involved in the deals of what's going on with them. So, Rana B says, aloha. I can't pronounce it. Some Hawaiian stuff from Oahu. What do you think of Citrus County, Florida? Saw you had a couple of properties in the past. I don't know Florida that well, guys. I grew up in southern Michigan, and we had a cottage in northern Michigan that we always went to. My friends would go to Florida for like 1 or 2 weeks out of the year. That would be their vacation. And I always said, Dad, why don't we ever get to go to Florida? All my friends go to Florida. And my dad said, Luke, we go to the cabin every weekend, every break, and all summer long. The other kids, they go to Florida for 1 or 2 weeks out of the year. That's all they do. Wouldn't you rather go to the cabin, go play in the woods, play in the lake, play in the beach, go skiing, do all this other stuff all the times in between, instead of spending 1 or 2 weeks of the year going to Florida? For the same kind of money, we can have a cabin and we can spend like all our free time there, and we can drive there, and it's a lot easier. And so that was always my point of view of Florida. My sister lived in Florida for a while. I visited a couple times. One of my professors moved to Florida. I helped him move to Florida. I drove a moving truck from San Diego to south of Tampa Bay area, Bradenton Beach, where he moved to. I visited him since. And, I've spent some time traveling around Florida. I used to do road trips to the Panhandle of Florida. I've visited the Miami area for conferences and speaking engagements and traveling through and stuff. But I don't feel like I've really explored Florida and really gotten out to see it and get to know it. So I haven't mailed it as much as these other guys have. And maybe I will in the future, but I just haven't. Revolutionary Hippies. My friend bought 4 or 5 acres in Cochise County. Do you have more with financing? Hopefully 8 to 10 acres. So let's take a look at Cochise. So I want to refill the inventory in Cochise. We've got some up on the website. When I was just looking at it this weekend, it's a lot more of smaller properties. I think there was a 20 on there that looked pretty good. Not that there's something wrong with the smaller ones. They're just cheap and easy, but let's go over to Cochise. So I'm going from Florida to Arizona. Cochise County is the southeasternmost county in Arizona. We keep talking about this county because I've bought and sold hundreds of properties there. And I've wholesaled many others off too that don't ever show up on the website. And so this is what we have in Cochise. And I probably should be looking at there's too many bubbles on the map. So I'm going to change it over to this kind of view, the regular search, Arizona, Cochise County, for sale, everything that's for sale. And so we don't have to see everything. I'm just going to see what's for sale. And so there's 20 acres. So look at that, 20 acres. Here's a 38 acres. So we got a couple big ones. And then smaller ones. The smaller ones are staying on the website a little bit longer. The bigger ones are flying off faster. Here's a 13 acres, a 20, and a 10. Okay. So 10 acres for $6,400. 20 acres for $7,999. That's pretty cheap right there. 20 acres for $7,999. I'd be looking at that. 13 acres for $15,999. I think that one's closer to town and stuff. Like you're getting more attributes with that property, but you're paying more for it. And then 20 acres for $10,900. That's pretty darn cheap. 38 acres for $23,500. That's where's that one? That one sounds a little bit more expensive. Curtis has this one on the board. He's been targeting western more. Yeah, okay. This one isn't so expensive. This one is in I think this is in Dragoon Mountain. Yeah, this is Dragoon Mountain over here. And so this part of it's really highly sought after. I've had properties in there before, and they went so fast, I totally mispriced them, you know. Like, it's really highly sought after part of the county. You got this beautiful mountain, and you're close to stuff. You're close to town. You know, you can just run over here. You're in Benson. You're in Tucson. This part of the county is like closest to stuff out of the whole county, and it's the nicer houses in the nicer area. Dragoon, there's the mountain, and yeah, so that's why he's asking more for that one. But that's a really beautiful area. So numerous ones to choose from the best of the county to way out, probably, I don't know if I want to say the worst of the county, but you know, for lack of better words, the cheapest part of the county. Let's go to the cheap stuff. $7,995 for 20 acres. Andy's got this one, basically $8,000 for 20 acres. And you could go ask these guys who's willing to do financing. You could look at them, see which ones are financing. Yeah, so for the cheap one, you got a little podunk road. You're probably going to have to rent a tractor and work on the road. There's some houses over here. I mean, but there's not going to be anyone around to bother you. There might be someone over here with a homestead. Somebody set up a homestead over there. And they figured out how to get there. It looks like a wash going through part of it, maybe some more of it. You might be able to harness some water out of one of those washes, take advantage of it. There's another homestead over here. But, you know, $8,000 for 20 acres. And if you want to get entrepreneurial about it, I mean, you could break that up. You could split it. I'm not going to say you can, but you probably can, looking at the laws and regulations and how I understand them. Do your own research. You could probably split that thing 5 ways if the zoning is set up for it. It's probably, see if they put the zoning in here. They didn't put the zoning, but I'm guessing it's RU4 zoning. Just by looking at it, it's probably RU4 zoning. So I've done a bunch of these kinds of deals. You could split that into 5 4-acre properties and sell each one of them off individually. So if you're trying to do this, $7,995. Those 4-acre properties, you probably sell them $2,000. So 5 times 2, you're not going to get a whole lot of economics out of that. 10 grand. Okay, so you could keep, maybe if you sold 4 of them off, you could keep. Let's if you did 4 times $2,000. If you sold 4 of them off, you got your $8,000. You got your costs covered. You got your land for free. So if you bought this 20 acres and you sold them as 4-acre lots, it's 19.55. So you might get pinched on the actual size of the property. You might get trouble there, but theoretically, if it's a total square 20, you could probably pay 8 for the property, sell 4 of the 5 pieces off, and keep your piece for free. So that could be like the cheapest 4 acres in the county because you get it for free, right? You just got to be more entrepreneurial about actually doing it. But you could look at that, and you could do it on one of the fancier ones too. I mean, you probably get even better economics on the fancier ones with roads and stuff, power lines and things. So there's just an example. Okay, so let's keep reading comments. I'm doing question and answer, and then I'm going to try to show you some of the new properties that are up on the website. Amitha Williams, hi Luke, we need to talk soon. Give me a call after the live stream, please. Amitha, I think the office girls were going back and forth with you, right? Like about your property. Um, was offering a refund or paperwork or whatever we could do, try to make you happy. Um, so after this live call, I've got to meet my kids, my wife and kids at the restaurant and or the beach right next to it. I've got a jet. It's a holiday. It's supposed to be a holiday. But Gillian and Jessica were supposed to be reaching out to you to settle what you want and make you happy. If there's something more I could do, I'll try to do that. But yeah. So I think what you're asking about, if we're asking about the same thing, is one of the properties in Navajo. I believe Amitha bought one of the properties in Navajo that we're talking about. And so I've got all these properties in Navajo, and Navajo started changing the rules on splitting the properties up. So we're just talking about splitting properties up in Cochise County, which is easy. It's a lot easier to do than most other places. Navajo used to be easy like that, and then they made some new rules and regulations. And so the new rules and regulations call for getting permission from the assessor to totally settle it before you can get a building permit on the property. And so you can still split the properties in Navajo, but you can't get a building permit on the property without getting the approval of the assessor. And so to split the properties in Navajo, there is a disclaimer that the county prescribes to use. And so I put that disclaimer on the deed, and that disclaimer says that this property is not in compliance with regulation, whatever the regulation number is. And to get into compliance with that regulation, you got to go get it approved by the assessor. And so the assessor charges $300 now to approve the split. That it used to be like $17 to get it recorded. So now it's $300. And selling like a $500 property, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go pay another $300 on top of there. And part of that $300 I can't solve. Part of it is requiring a driveway. And so I believe every other thing that they have required in there is covered except for the physical access to the property. So you got to build a driveway into the property, and when you're done building a driveway into the property, go to the assessor's office and say, okay, I got everything covered. I got my legal access. I got my legal description. Here's where the property is. Here's, the driveway's in there. Physical access is built in. I'm going to pay my fee, pay the fee. And then after you do that, you can go over to the building department, and you can pay them fees to get a building permit. But you still get the land. You own the land. It's your land. You just can't get a building permit until you get past the assessor. So they added on this new layer of paperwork and fees to be able to get a building permit. I've transferred numerous properties through this process since the laws changed. A lot of them being ones that I sold on terms. I did owner financing on. So the people bought the property by making down payments and payments over time. And then later on someday, when all the payments are done, then I record the property over to that person's name. Now, in the previous set of laws in Navajo County, when I record the property over to the person's name, they would rejig the map and say, here's where the property is, and we're all good. But now with the new laws, they're adding a new step in there requiring that physical access to the property that you need to build, because the property I was selling has like a dirt trail or maybe the road goes to one corner of it, but you got to build a driveway down the easements I created over to the rest of the property, to where your part of the property is to meet the county requirements. And so I think that's the conversation that you're asking me to have. I believe that's what we're going back and forth about. So hopefully that answers your questions. If you want a refund on the property, we'll just do a refund on the property, or maybe I could trade it for some other property. If you don't like those rules and regulations, I don't like them, but it happened, and so I'll refund you. And but to do a refund, I am requesting that I get a deed from you to sign the property back over to me. And my office will create the deeds. I think they already made the deeds and sent them to you. And just go get that notarized at your local bank. They'll probably do it for free or find a notary somewhere and notarize it, send it back to me, and I'll send you a refund the same way that you paid for the property. If it's through credit card or payments or whatever, I'll send it back the same way the money came in. So hopefully that answers the question. Or for anyone else that's out there with Navajo questions on all these Navajo properties. So Blake Jones says, I'll send you some cash. Sounds good, Blake. We'll go get some Arkansas properties and get them up on the market, get them sold. I'm not going to reach for high prices on these properties. Like, I'm just not. I want them to go faster than they've gone in the past. So H1 Slant says, how does the $500 partnership deal work again? I'm interested. Okay, so I'll explain it again, but also the recorded version of this video will be up later, and you can listen to the recorded version. So $500, you got to mail it or email Gilian, whose email address is in the description below. And if you're mailing it, the mailing address and the name to make the money payable to is in the description below of this video. And so the $500 comes in the mail. I'll be checking the mail. I do all the time. I'll see your money and everything, and I'll deposit it into my company account, and I will write checks from my company account to the state of Arkansas. And I will say, I'm going to pay $50 for this property, and I'll do the paperwork for the property that I want to buy from the state. And so I'll go through and I'll pick out properties, and I'll offer them $50 for each property. I'll sign that thing that we're buying it, and I'm going to buy it in my company's, or one of my company's names. I'm not sure which company I'll use yet. I'll use a throwaway company for it. So we'll buy them in one of these company names. And then so we'll buy a bunch of these properties, and we'll make the offer. And as they accept them, let me go back a step. I'll get them into the database. So you see the paperwork, you see what I'm doing, you see what properties I'm making offers on. It's going to come to you with the email that you put in there that you give us. With that email, I'm going to populate my database, and you're going to be up to track, and you see all the paperwork going by. Going to mail it to them, mail them checks, and we sit on our hands and wait. And we wait for like 2 months. Maybe a month later or something, they give us a letter that says, oh, you've been approved or accepted or whatever. And I'll scan that into the database. You'll see that paperwork. And then another month later, it'll be like, we'll get a deed from the county after the state goes and does their paper mumbo jumbo, gets the county to give us a deed. The county sends us a deed. Depends what county you buy the property in. Some of them take longer, some of them go faster. So when we get that deed in hand, then I'll go start marketing the property. And I'll market it, try to sell it for example, $500, where we just paid $50 for the thing. So out of that $500, we probably got some miscellaneous fees that we got to pay. And the miscellaneous fees might be $5. They might be $50. They might be $100. They might be $2,500. If they're $2,500, I'm not going to even put the property up for sale. Not going to do it. Not going to happen. We're just going to shrug our shoulders and say, it's cost of doing business. That one is going to go back to the tax collector someday, 2 years, 3 years from now. We're just going to sit there and we're not going to pay the bills on it. We're going to let it rot and go away. And then the ones that sell, I'm going to charge you 50% of the profits on that thing for selling it. So let's say we sell it for $500. Let's say we pay $50 in fees. We paid $50 to the state. Let's say we got $400 in profits there. I'm going to send you a check for $200, and I'm going to keep $200. And then if somebody comes back on one of these and like wants refunds and stuff, I'm going to try to refund them and resell it to somebody else. But I might ask you for some of that money back. Or I'll probably just take it out of the next deal if we still got some other deals in the hopper. Or I might just shrug and not ask you for the money back. Depends how much it happens. So that's the idea. That's what we're doing. And 10 properties for $500. And it's more to plant the seed for future setup deals like this of other kinds, and show you that how it works and how the database works and how the system works and how we could process volume of deals like this. Okay. So there's the rehash of the $500 deal. Thank you, H1, for asking. M. How to Shell. Hello, Luke. Hello, How to Shell. Raised David Evans. Evening, all from Wales. Evening. Morning over here. Iowawa. The art of The Dirt Deal by Mr. Luke. Exactly. We're working some new angles here. We're gonna slice some more deals. Revolutionary Hippies. I was trying to buy the 20 acres, but was sold already. Uh-oh. So the 20 acres that's on the screen sold already, huh? Um, that one's not sold. It's saying it's still up for sale, so you can still check out with it. So if you check out, um, there's online checkouts. This is Andy Barnhart. So this particular property, up there you got Andy Barnhart's name and number. I mean, you can call him and check and everything, but there's a Buy It Now button. If you hit the Buy It Now button, you can still check out with it. If you sold it to somebody else through title or something like that, then he should be taking this off right quick and telling us to get it off the website. But there's a small chance that it maybe is already sold, but it really, really, really looks like it's still up for sale to me. So yeah, let's go back. The Gardner Earth Guy, what area is he speaking of? So that property I was just showing off was in Cochise County, Arizona. The area that I was talking about doing the $500 deal on is Arkansas, like the greater state of Arkansas. Most likely going to be some counties I've already done business in, and I know how to do it, and we've got a market for them and that kind of stuff. Metha Williams. Okay, I understand. Gotcha. Enjoy your day, Luke. Happy Labor Day. Thank you, Metha. So I'm glad to get that cleared up. That gives me a chance to try to clear up the same question for anyone else that might be listening about those Navajo properties. Sometimes the laws change. I got caught in between selling some I don't think yours was on terms, but some of the people I sold land to on terms, and the laws changed, and I go, oh no, like how do I solve that, But I think I got it figured out, trying to keep everybody happy. Wyatt Loeth, for the Arkansas deals, does it have to be a cashier's check or can it be straight cash mailed in your business? You can do cash. I mean, you can do cashier's check, money order. I'm not picky. I mean, some people show up with crazy amounts of cash. I get a little bit nervous. I had a guy show up with $80,000 in cash to buy some land. That's a bit much for me. It still works, but I mean, I can't keep doing that. I'm going to get robbed someday. Like $500 in the mail, that's fine. If it goes missing in the mail or something, yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. But if you're comfortable throwing $500 in the mail, go for it. I mean, I bought properties with cash in the mail. I bought properties from a sheriff one time. I think they're Cochise County. Now that I think about it, he was a sheriff in another county, and he said he doesn't trust anybody because he's a sheriff. It's like, yeah, I understand. You look him up. He's the elected sheriff, And he says he'll sell this property that he has to me, but I got to pay in cash in person. I'm like, how am I supposed to do it in person from here? And he said, well, you can mail it. He says lots of people mail cash. I'm like, yeah. So I FedExed him an envelope with cash, and he had a bunch of properties. I think it was like 20 grand, if I remember right, in cash in the mail to the sheriff. It's like, there's something, this is a fishy sheriff. And, yeah, it worked. It worked out fine. He signed everything, sent it back. I'm not planning on doing more deals like that, but sometimes that's how it works. There's some good properties. Reese, maybe? David Evans nearly had my name right again. It's pronounced Reese. Yeah, Reese. Okay. As in Reese's Pieces. Reese is the Welsh spelling. Nice. King Black 22. Where is the Texas property I'm looking to buy? How do I find land like you? So let's pull up Texas while I talk about finding land. So I'm on the map. I gotta get it on the screen. So I'm on the map and pulling up Texas, and I've had a bunch over here in the past. I think Curtis might still have some here around El Paso. He's got a bunch of them. He bought and sold all over this this side of this El Paso. There's still a couple properties here he's got up for sale. And Curtis just slaying Texas land like left and right. I've had some of these crazy desert ones. where it rains once every 3 years or something. People living on rainwater collection, waiting for every 3 years rain to fill up their tanks. Over here, I mean, these are all sold, but I would love to go through and I would love to work this Texas Gulf Coast, like all the properties along the coast here, all the counties along the coast, alligator hunting and snake hunting properties. I think that'd be a blast. I used to have a client, when I was in the stock business, who was down here by, not going to get the area just right. I've had clients in Harlingen too, but he used to shoot snakes and gators from his porch, and he was in one of these backwaters. And my wife, I used to tell my wife stories about that. His stories that he'd tell me about different snakes he shot that day. My wife's like, "Oh, we gotta go shoot snakes with Bubba." He called himself Bubba. Go shoot snakes with Bubba. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I bet he's got the best guns and the best snakes and the best gators and the best dogs to go find them and everything." He's always had the best stories. So I would love to go. Maybe it's not the right reason to buy land, but I would love to work this ghost line, buy land up that way. But while I'm looking at this, I wanted to find some land in Texas that we've got for sale, and we don't have much of anything in Texas for sale right now. I found one green one over here. Like, the other way of doing it would be to work all these lakes. So here's a couple properties near the lake, and the way we're getting these properties is mailing cash offers to people that own the land. And so here's a piece of property that's next to a cabin or a house or a garage or something, and we mail them an offer. It says, "Hey, this is how much I would like to offer you cash, and if you're willing to sell your property, sign here." And I got some of them sitting around. Sometimes I do some smaller mailers. I do them on my own, so here's an envelope. I didn't actually lick this one yet. Let's blow this up. I'm like waist deep in mailers. So here, still gotta like close it and send it. It's just a piece of mail. It says, "Hey, I want to buy your land." Open this one up. Let's say they get my letter. See if I can get it on the screen. It's just like, "Hey, I want to buy your land." Where'd it go? And it's a letter. It says, "I want to buy your land." And on the next page it says, "This is how much I offer. This is where the land is. This is how much I offer." This one is $10,482.79. It's just, I figure out those numbers by doing a bunch of statistics and experience and throwing horseshoes and licking my finger and putting it in the air and that kind of stuff, and come up with the prices for the land, what I think would be a good price. So this $10,000 property, I'm mailing them $10,000 offer, and the market's probably, there's nothing like it for sale for under $100,000 in the area. They might get back and they might say, "Yeah, I'll take your offer," or they might yell and kick and scream or throw it in trash or whatever. But when I offer like $10,000 and the market's like 100,000 plus, anybody says, "Yes, I'm going to be dancing." Like this property we got a picture of in the background, right? And they might get back to me and they might say, "I'm not taking your $10,000 offer, but I'll take $15,000. For them, it's 50% more than I just offered. And for me, it's like, that sounds okay. Or they might come back and they'll say, "I won't take 10, but I'll take 30. $30,000 in a $100,000 plus market, that might still be okay. Let's look at the attributes of the property and make a decision," right? So see, you get a number out of them, see what they're willing to sell for. And the vast majority of them aren't willing to sell. They don't want to sell. They have no intention of selling. They're going to keep it for their grandkids or something. And those are the people that don't want to sell, or they want like some crazy price. I'm not going to spend any time trying to work on them and force them into selling when there's other people that are willing and able to sell, that are at willing to take lower prices. And so by doing this, I figure out what the lowest property and lowest price stuff in the market is. It's willing and able to sell, and I buy it. And then I put it back up for sale at something higher than what I bought it for, but still less than everybody else in the marketplace, maybe half. If the market's over 100, I might be asking $50,000. And people will be looking at my $50,000 offer. I'll get 5 times as many people looking at that than the $100,000 offers get. and I get a lot more questions and a lot more people going to buy it, and probably someone buys it a lot faster than any of those $100,000 offers, even if the property's got some warts or something ugly to it. There's a big rock in the middle, or a cactus you're not supposed to move, or stream that you got to build a bridge over. I don't know, like all kinds of things. Every property's got its unique attributes to it. People start pricing that stuff in. They say, I'll fix that because I can get this land. I can actually pay for it. I can actually buy this one. And they take off with it. And that's where this property on the website's coming from. And so back to Texas. We got this one, $4,200. It's like a tenth of an acre, just shy of a tenth of an acre. So you could probably put a mobile home on it. So you probably maybe mobile home in a garage. You can park your boat in the garage or something and go for it. $4,200 next to a lake in Texas. Let's see what else. I mean, there's a couple of them there to choose from. Here's another one next to another lake. Lake Tawa, whatever, I can't pronounce it. This one's almost a half an acre near the lake. Jason Lydiard's got this one. He's asking $7,000 or $1,000 down and $199 a month for 40 months. I mean, there's some easy financing, $199 a month for 40 months. I don't know how much that should add up to. Oh, 1,000 down and 100. Okay. It's almost cheaper to do the financing. Did he do the math right on that? Or am I? So 199 times 40. Oh, 8. Yeah, okay. So it's extra $2,000 to do the financing over just paying cash. And both of these are not that far away from Dallas, Fort Worth area. There's 7 of them down here south of town. Those are all sold. So there's some Texas property to look at. Let's go back to the screen of this property I can't wait to close on in the background, and let's answer some more questions. Kingback's asking about a Texas property. Says, I need it closer to the coast. Yeah, I wish we had more properties closer to the coast in Texas too. I'm going to try to work on that one of these days. That's like through the winter time. I want to work on that through the winter. And then next summer, I want to have a bunch of lake properties in the north. King Black 22 is saying, are they back taxes when you send them an offer? No. I mean, some of them might be. I've tried that. If you try to send out offers, cash offers to the properties that just have back taxes, you're going to get a lot of people that don't get back to you, a lot of mail that doesn't get delivered because they're dead, because they are in jail, because they moved, because they're in a hospital or something, and they're not in the right state of mind to be doing paperwork and keeping up with their taxes, let alone trading the property. This is my point of view. And so you get a concentration of messy deals. And you start working on them, and you start working on them, and you keep working on them, and you keep working on them, and people say, yeah, I'll sell. Can I sign from prison? Can I sign from the mental home? Can I sign from my hospital bed? Can I sign from, I'm staying on my kid's couch. I need to sell it right now. I can't pay the taxes. Those are the people that can't find a notary and don't show up for an appointment and just are crazy to do paperwork with. Yeah, I can't print that. Oh, I don't know how to use a computer. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Like, not the right people to do business with, in my opinion. I'm sure there's some jewels in there you might be able to scrape out and pull off. But the people that pay their taxes on these properties are the people that are willing to sign stuff, and they're on top of it. They're reading their mail. They're paying attention. They're much more willing to go to a bank and sign notary paperwork, or go to a local title shop, or meet a notary they might send to the house to sign stuff. They answer questions. They tell you about something that's wrong. They tell you about stuff that's right. They throw in your old title insurance or something. Like, they're there and they're willing to do business with you. Why not work with those people instead of the ones that are, on the crazy train? And I think there's a huge distribution of people in the U.S. that are a lot easier to work with than the ones that aren't. And so I'd almost rather just send out offers and skip the people altogether that have back taxes, just because I don't like dealing with them most of the time. And then you still got to pay the taxes, right? Um, so no, I don't just target the people with back taxes. And I'd rather go the other way. There's more competition. A lot of people believe you should just mail the people with back taxes. I don't believe in that at all. Um, yeah, Yowawa says not shovel ready sellers. Exactly. uh, yeah, so you just look at random vacant land and offer. Yeah, it's not so random. I do statistics on it, and I look at stuff. Like more recently, I've been looking at stuff like what are the taxes on the property? You know, if the distribution of taxes on vacant land in the property starts at $5 and goes to $30,000, what is up with a $30,000 property? Why does the county charge $30,000 for taxes on a vacant property? More often than not, you look at the highest taxed vacant land in the county, and it's like zone medical, right next to a hospital, or it's in between some shopping centers and it's a parking lot. It's like big fancy malls on either side. I mean, that kind of stuff gets the highest taxes for vacant land in the county. Maybe I'm not ready to compete on those properties yet, so I might scrape some of those off the top. But the ones right below that are probably waterfront or sweet views or something really nice going on about those properties, right? They look like you could put a neighborhood there. You could plant 50 homes on, call KB Homes up and sell it the next day. Like they want to go put 5,000 homes there, extend the side of town. Those properties are probably the bigger tax ones right beyond the ones that looks like you should put a hospital or medical offices or something on. And then below that, you start getting the waterfront, sweet stuff, residential homes. So you can look at if the county does a good job of ranking the properties by how much they charge taxes or how much they assess the properties for. You can use that not as what you're going to pay for the property, but as a ranking. And you can number the properties by, 1 to 1,000 if there's 1,000 properties in the county. And that property number 1 is probably a triangle in between the freeway and the off ramp. You don't want it. Or it's like a 5-foot strip of stupidity between someone's property. They're just something that's not usable to anybody. It should be wrapped into the neighbors. Like those small tax dollar ones are probably no access. They're probably cliffside, crazy, stupid things you don't want. I don't even send offers to those most of the time anymore. And, but you can gauge a lot about the property based on that if the assessor is doing a good job in that county. Some counties, they're out to lunch and they're not doing a good job at all. Other counties are doing a really good job and you can use that. Some counties have zoning, what kind of zoning you can have on the property. Like in the databases, you can price based on zoning and size and area. Sometimes a price based on the specific parts and neighborhoods of the county. There's a lot of ways to go about it. If you want more details on it, go back into like 100 different YouTube videos I've got on the YouTube channel talking about it, where I actually do live mailers and I go through from like beginning to ending and making them happen, pricing them, strategy wise, lots of things. You go dive deep into my YouTube channel to see that, and you could learn it all basically. It's free. You just got to take the time to go wade through it. Revolutionary Hippie says, my friend is going to Arizona for his B-Day. I'll have him check out the 20 acres. Nice. There you go. George Vegas in the house. Morning, George. Kingback says, really good point. Thanks for the information. Yeah, how do I learn how to do this? Do you have a class or anything? How can I work with you on something like this? So Kingback, thanks. King Black, thank you. That sounds like a good compliment. Yeah, just like I was saying, there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos out there. I make these YouTube videos to share and to earn trust, to create partners to work with on these different deals, like this presentation I just did earlier in the call for the $500 deal. And that I think doing those deals, and maybe it'll be some old partners I'm already working with. Maybe you'll start some new partners. Get them started with these small dollar ones and work up into bigger ones over time. And I think that's a better way to work with me is doing deals. Like I don't have a whole lot of time. That's where I'm most limited. So I make these videos and try to answer the questions I get over and over and over and over again. If you want a more concise, precise version of the education of this stuff, down in the bottom of this video description, there's a link to landacademy.com. And Land Academy, I'm going to be speaking at their live conference October 5th, I think it is. It's like a week or a month from now. So October 5th is a Saturday. So that Saturday and Sunday, Land Academy, and there's a link to it down below for their live event too. They're having this live event, and land dealers are coming from all over the country, and some of them international, to talk about doing land deals like this, how we can do it better, how we can be more efficient at it, and learn from each other, that kind of thing. And I'm going to be doing some speaking and presenting at that show. So you could sign up to that show. I don't know what they're charging for this one. I think it was like $1,500 or $1,600 if you bought it ahead of time last year. Maybe it's like $2,000 or something this year, but it totally sold out last time, and I think it was a really good event. So if you're up for it, there's that event too. But those guys, for a couple $1,000, they sell a educational program that takes you from point A, from beginning to ending of how to do these kinds of land deals. I think that could be a archstone piece of the education to pull this off too, if you wanted to really dive into it. Chuck Licka is saying, nice background pick, Luke. Thanks, Chuck. This is not too far from you. This property is west of you, kind of across some water from you. Okay, so I think I'm caught up on comments. I wanted to go to the website and look at the newest properties that are up for sale, but we've been going an hour 15. Let's do a quick scan. I'm not even going to drill into the properties. I'm going to try to make some videos about these properties over time here as I can. But so we've got some 2 acres in Elko County, Nevada. It's not priced yet. It's brand new on the website. 1.3 acres in Panola County, Mississippi. $6,700. Somebody was asking about Georgia before, and Florida and Georgia. We talked about Florida, but we didn't talk about Georgia properties. I haven't had any Georgia properties on the website that I can think of or know of, because you got to use an attorney to close in Florida, and it's a little different dance. I mean, we could probably do it, but it's not going to be like credit card transaction. You're going to be using the local attorney to make it happen. We got this one. I wanted to work some more on this one. This is 33 acres in Yavapai County. I'm asking $297,000 for it. I think you can split it up. There's a bunch of quarter acre size properties in the area going for like 30 something grand. And if you split this thing up, if you hired a surveyor to go knock it into bits and pieces, I think you could sell a lot more bits and pieces than what this thing, the bigger picture financing of this thing is. I could split it 3 ways without getting into the regulations. So I could break it down to 11 acre properties. I could sell 11 acre properties, and then you could go work on splitting it up from there too. So I could sell it in thirds, all of it, or in thirds on that one. It's the biggest trees in Arizona, big trees just up the way from Prescott, Arizona, between Prescott and Phoenix in the mountains, like 7,000 foot kind of elevation. So you can get out of the deserts and go up into the mountains like an alpine retreat. I think that'd be a really neat place to break up. Like if I was going to do some development, I'd try to develop that one. I'd put a water well in there, and I would put easements, and I would put little roads and make a whole bunch of little lots out of it and sell them, drive up lots with access to the well. You add the pump, you add the plumbing, and split it up between the neighborhood. I think you could make a lot of money doing that. You could buy it for 300 grand, probably sell it for $2 million or something, break it up into pieces like that. So looking for the right buyer on that one. 2 acres in Iron County, Utah for $2,500. 5 acres in Castilla County, Colorado for $3,199. 20. What is this one? Garfield County. We got to fix this because I don't even know what state Garfield County's in. So Brian's got this one on the website. It's guys, if you know where Garfield County is, could you put that in the comments? It's by a lake. We got trees. This is Colorado. He's usually Colorado. Let's see. This looks like, oh, it's Utah. Oh, it's near Cedar City. Okay. Looks like it's surrounded by national forest. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep going fast. It looks like a nice forest and lake. Well, that's not the right one. This one here. We had it up. I got too many of them open. I got lost. 20 acres in Apache County, Arizona. 7,997. That sounds like a cheap 20 acres. 2 acres in Elko County, Nevada. 2.27 acres. $1,995. It's nice to see some more Elko filling in. I was sold out there for a bit, so get some more Elko on the board. Ohio, Adams County, Ohio, 3.87 acres. Look at that. Got some fall color in the pictures. It's about the right time of year. $11,000 for 3 acres in Adams County, Ohio. 1 acre in Panola County, Mississippi, for $5,470. Elko County, Nevada, 2.27 acres. Yosemite, oh, this was Mariposa County. This was one I was working on. The picture's loading slow. Mariposa County, $34,999. I'm gonna open this one for a sec. I can't pass this one. This is a beautiful one. Supposed to get some pictures. I wonder if the pictures are in there yet. 5 acres. I don't think we got the, or maybe these are pictures. Been hiring pictures out for a bunch of properties. Yeah, so we got pictures of the property. That's street view. There's some drone shots. So this isn't very far from Yosemite. Like it's really close to the door to Yosemite. It's the cheapest one around by a country mile. I did make a video about that one. I was gonna say I need to make some videos. And then we got Klamath County, Oregon, $15,979 for 20 acres. You get 20 acres in Oregon for $15,000. It's doing financing, $500 financing with $150 a month. In Oregon, across from Kankakee River in Illinois, an hour from Chicago, Will County, Illinois, $1,000. Pueblo County, Colorado, $1,100. Oh, guys, I gotta look at this one. These pictures are worthy for background. This is one of my properties, $74,000. Asking for this one. It's got a couple streams running through it. I made a video about this one, but we got some more pictures in there now. Third-party pictures. So got a bunch of trees. There's moss hanging off a lot of these trees. We got old septic plans for the property, so you could like revive the old septic plans and get a building permit. Just a couple streams. There's a stream on the border of the property. There's a little stream going through the property. They've already got little bridges crossing them, and yeah, look at that. I mean, just beautiful little stream on the property. There's a bigger stream on the border of the property, but this is the one that goes under the driveway. Nice looking property. Got to figure out how to get back to where I was. So I think I've circled back to the ones that I'm back to the ones we were talking about last week. There's some more. Will County, Illinois, $3,700, $1,400, $1,450 for close to Chicago properties. Pinell County, Arizona, $19,500 for a 1 acre in Pinell County, Arizona. That's close to Tucson. I'm pretty sure we're getting into the ones we covered last week. So I'm going to give away, let's get to the fun stuff. Not that land's not fun, but I mean the extra fun stuff. Let me poke around and fix the screen while try to read some comments. I'm going to try to get this up in the background. Okay, so got a lot of stuff to click. Okay. For Lisa, first name Sap. So that's my county, Yavapai. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Oh yeah, you could make money on that acreage. Yavapai County is growing by leaps and bounds. Yeah, so that 33 acres in Yavapai County, it's at the top of Mount Union, and there's a little road to drive up there, and it just looks like a really beautiful spot. Big trees and views, and we got some drone footage of it. I'm gonna try to get that up onto the maps and ads, and trying to get it promoted all over the place. But I think it's more of a developer's property than something you're going to buy and put your house on. So I think you cut it up into a couple different properties, and because the little tiny cabin lots in the area are going, I mean, if you sold them for 20 grand, they'd be the cheapest ones around. If you sold them for 30, you'd be kind of the bottom of the market. In the mid 30s to upper 30s, you start getting some competition. So I think, 25 grand cabin lots, you could do like an eighth of an acre or a tenth of an acre or a quarter of an acre kinds of lots, different sizes depending on the topography of the property. But I mean, you split up 33 acres by a bunch of those. I mean, you do the math. There's a lot of lots to be made there. You could sell them for a bunch. You'd have to go through the regulations to split it up. That's more than I want to take on personally, but you can hire surveyors to do it. One of the surveyors we talked to about it wanted, I think it was $3,500 to break it up. And yeah, it's not that much when you're talking about the price of the property to get it surveyed out. We could probably even break it up into title, contingent upon title and stuff, and making it happen. And for a developer that wanted to pull that thing off. Yeah, so let me know if you want to go develop a bunch of cabin lots up in the biggest trees in Arizona between Prescott and Phoenix. There's a bunch of money on either side that can drive up into these mountains and get an alpine kind of cabin retreat property. So I'm switching this over to the comments. He says, oh yeah, you can make money on that acreage. Yavapai County is growing. Okay, so I just led that. Okay, thanks. Do you have the information on how to do deals with you and the process and where to send the money? I have been doing a lot of research and been worried if things like this are just scams. It's a really good thing to worry about. I mean, of course you should worry. Not saying you should worry about me, but so in the description below, there is my company's name, Tobacco, spelled with a P, Tobacco, and the address to mail funds to. It's $500 for 10 properties. So mail the funds in. I'm not going to buy the properties in your name because I'm trying to keep the paperwork as easy as I can. I'll buy it in one of my company's names so I can sign it and deliver to the people that I'm selling this land to. And then I'm going to share half the profits with those properties with you. I'm probably going to have to get you to sign something now that I think about it. Like, we'll do a little agreement. I'll mail that back to you. Sign a little agreement when you send in the money. And it basically says, what the terms of what we're doing are. And I'll go buy these properties and market them, sell them, and split half the profits with you. And the thing I'm most excited about this is the databasing systems that I've got set up now to keep track of it and share with you what's going on through the process. And I'm excited about that because I believe it'll open the door to allow me to do a lot more deals like this with a lot more people going forward, and process a lot more land, offer a lot more of the cheapest land in the area to whoever wants it on the website and other marketing channels. Then he says, and with you doing this live screen, make me more comfortable with doing something like this. Thanks again, man. I'll be in contact. Sounds good. Thanks, King Black 22s. Packwoods Bungalow. Have a look at the Rural Vacant Land website. You can see the land for sale and the many plots of land that have been sold. Yeah, so I keep keep a lot of the sold ones up there. Lots of times the people buy land that they want to resell. So a lot of people buy land off my website and they'll want to go sell it for more. They ask me to take it off the website, and I do that. I take it off the website for them, and it disappears. I like to leave the history on the website, part of it for something like this. You can refer to it as history and credibility and stuff. And you can go research the titles on them and make sure it's real and everything. And you can see the prices. There's nothing to hide. It's all public information anyway. And then I started doing it because people would call me after I sold the land. They're like, okay, how do I find the land? I'm like, oh man, I got to give you directions to the land again. It's in the ad, and I got rid of the ad. I'm like always trying to find the ad to give them directions again. So I just leave the ads up, and then they can pull the property up again, and they can get the directions. They can click on it in their phone and give them driving directions from wherever they're at. Yeah, so what I was saying, also check the FAQ part of the website. Yeah, there's a lot in the FAQ. I haven't worked on the FAQ in a while, but there's a lot in the FAQ from in the past. I did a lot of work on the FAQ. We'll do thanks, guys. Okay, so here's the giveaway. So everyone that's listening live, not the recorded version, you can have your shot at the giveaway. And I used to say just people that haven't won before and everything. I'm not doing that anymore because it's too hard to keep track of because too many people have won. And started having people win multiple times. No, I don't care if they win multiple times. It's all cool. So you get the option of winning either a free piece of land. I'll give you one of these Arkansas properties. I'll do the paperwork, send the money out and everything, get it, buy it into your name, and or 500 mailers. On the 500 mailers, I'm gonna pay for them. I'm gonna price them. I'm gonna send them. I'm gonna answer the phone. I'm gonna do all the work to get the mail. You're gonna keep track of it through my new database system that you're involved with. So I'll put you into it as it happens. And as people call back and yell at me or love on it or whatever, you'll see the comments on there and you'll see them go by and you laugh and or dance or whatever the replies are, and or cry if you don't get anything. So you might not get anything out of 500. And we might get something cool like the ones I had in the background earlier, like this one here. Like if we get this property, you might make like 10 grand off of it when it's all said and done. And that's the value of doing the mailers. I think it's riskier but a bigger upside shot of knocking it out of the park. And I'm really excited to go do it because I'm keeping half the profit on that sucker. Yeah, I fund it and do all the work, but I'm keeping half the profit. And as I can take these things full circle, I can explain the numbers to people, and it'll make it easier for me to price mailers and for others to invest in mailers going forward as I have more statistics and history on doing this. So I'm building the history. That's part of why I'm doing this too. Okay. So I got to ask a question. I'm going to ask a question for you guys to answer from earlier on in the call. And so I started the call talking about this $500 offer, and I talked about 2 counties in there. So if you can name those 2 counties in Arkansas where I sold a bunch of properties in the past, I made crazy amounts of videos to sell those properties. If you've been subscribing to the YouTube channel, you probably saw like 100 different videos go by about these counties. If you name those 2 counties, I'm going to do the 7th person to name those counties. I'll give you the option of a piece of land or 500 mailers. I think you'd be a lot better off with the mailers, but if you don't understand the mailers, don't want the mailers, I'll give you a piece of land. So the 7th person, I see him starting to come in, and Andrew W. is saying Baxter and Izzard. That's 1. I'm going to see if I can stop this thing from moving. I'm going to get dizzy. Okay. It's still going. Let's try that. Okay, so Andrew, he's won before. Andrew's chiming in. Baxter and Izzard. That's 1. I'm going for the 7th person. M. Howdeshell. Izzard Baxter. That's close enough spelling. It's kind of like my style of spelling. H1 slant. Baxter and Lizard. I like that name too. So there's 3. They're pretty darn close. I understand what you're saying. Jason Macy, Baxter and Izzard. 4. He got them spelled right. ADD, Baxter and Izzard. It's close enough. 5. Reese David Evans says Baxter and Izzard. 6. And Iowawa. This guy's 1 and 1. Here we go again. Iowawa 1. Baxter and Izzard number 7. So there's 7 That's the seventh one. Let's say Iowawa. I'll give you the choice. You don't have to choose right now, but the other guys in the audience might want to know if you want the mailers or the land. And let's see, Iowawa 1 wins. And so I'm not going to, like, if it's spelled wrong or your count's wrong or whatever, I'm not going to listen to it. Iowawa wins. Yeah, pick land or mailers. And mail Gilian. Okay, so email Gilian. I want you to email Gilian your information. Yeah, he'll take mailers. Of course he takes mailers. I understand that. So Iowawa is going for the mailers. And so email Gilian. I just posted her email address in there and cut and paste it. It's also in the description below. And say you'd like the mailers. You'd like to, get your information in there. Your name, your phone number. I'm darn sure I already have it. But mailing address, so I can mail you money someday when these things come full circle. And it's going to take a bunch of time. I'm darn surprised how much time it's taken me to go full circle on these mailers. And I think what has really blown out my timelines on these is partially because I always bite off more than I can chew. That's just my nature. And the other part of it is the due diligence, like a property like this one in the background. It's got a weird shape. If I could draw a shape of this thing. I mean, maybe I could make it out of a piece of paper. We'll do some origami shapes here. It's like a triangle-ish thing. It's kind of triangle with a road running along the long side of it, but it's got a piece missing up here. Is that a shape of a property? Like, it's this kind of shape. Like, what kind of shape is that? Okay, this part makes sense because of the road. And then there's a stream that goes, like, up here. And then there's a road on either side of that stream. And we're not sure that the road's really good or not, like driveway to get in there. But picture shows a driveway. And then who owns this missing piece here? Like, the Cookie Monster take a piece of the property or something? I mean, just, that's not the whole basis of the of the due diligence. But other things come up, like it says there's a 50-foot setback. So from this road, if I can get it on the screen, from this road here, it's a 50-foot setback. I'm like, okay, so I go measure the 50-foot setbacks and make sure it's not killing the property. And then over here, it's like 15-foot setbacks and 15-foot setbacks. And then there's a stream over here, so we got this, I think it's a 100-foot setback off the stream. And so, like, carving all these setbacks in there, is there still some property to use? Okay, good. Go finding the setbacks, figuring out. Cut the story short, the due diligence has taken me a lot longer on these properties than it used to when I was buying these small dollar ones, squares in the desert. Desert squares are a lot easier to look at. You don't have to worry about flood so much. You don't have to worry about all kinds of things that you have to worry about in a property like this. But I think we can get a lot more money out of a property like this. So I've been mailing for a lot more properties like this one in the background, because I think everyone gets more money out of them, wins, and the person that's buying it gets even a better deal. I mean, buying it 50 grand below the market is a lot more to dance for than buying it, $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 below the market. People should show up and pay and run with it fast. I think everybody wins. That's the idea. That's what's taken me so much longer to do these mailers that I've promised to do in the past than I thought they would take. And so I'll keep working on them for all the guys that bought mailers or won mailers. I'm working on them. I'm working on them. I'm going to get caught up, and then I'm going to offer some more mailers. And it's just, I want to do the statistics on them, figure out what kind of rates I should be offering them at, if I should charge more for the mailers or if I should change the percentage profit splits on them up or down depending on the profitability. So I want to get a good picture of it and go from there. Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for watching. Happy Labor Day. And Thank you. Talk to you again next week, 9 a.m. Hopefully it'll be in my new office, and maybe I can show you the new place. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a lot quieter. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.